FlamesNation Citizens, we're back. Welcome back. Welcome inside the Oodle Noodle Studios here in Marda Loop. I'm Lyle Peterman.
And I'm Michela Sheedy, who just had a voice crack. That was weird.
It's because you tried doing sound effects, and that's not your strong suit, apparently.
It's not. You would think that it might be, right? But it's not today.
I had some jokes, but I'm just going to leave it at that.
You're not going to chirp me this early in the episode?
No, you look lovely today, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Well, welcome back after the long weekend.
I know.
How was your weekend?
It was very, very chill. I honestly just hibernated in my house, and I got a lot of work done. And while everybody else was either partying it up in the woods or on a lake or at a festival, I was literally on my couch.
That's lovely.
I know. It was actually really nice.
Sometimes you need that recharge, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I was like perfectly cocooned with snacks and my computer, like just doing the thing. It was great. What about you? What did you do?
I went to Buffalo Lake. It's like a family tradition. On my mom's side of the family, I've had a lake or a spot there for a couple generations now. So generations. Woo-hoo. Spent time there with my cousins, and you don't get to see that like all of your cousins very often. So it was nice.
Well, I used to have a situation similar to that. Years ago, my family, my dad's best friend and his best friend's like entire extended family, we would go camping in Kelowna the same 2 weeks at the same spot, like every single year. I like grew up there. I did all of my like shenanigans as a kid there.
Well, you're learning who you are as a person.
Oh yeah, there was plenty of that going on. So it's like it's really nice to see that like people still have those like truly ingrained traditions going on, especially with camping and lakes and drinking. And
have you been to Buffalo Lake before?
I haven't.
It is like one of Alberta's best kept secrets.
Okay.
So don't tell anyone.
Okay.
But it's a fantastic lake. It's massive. You can't see across it in parts, and it's got the highest pelican population in Canada. You know, those big birds with like the long necks.
Oh yeah.
So beautiful. It feels very coastal when you're there.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of sand beaches. It's nice. It's not as gross as some Alberta lakes. Like, doesn't get as like algae and gross.
Ooh, yeah, I can't stand swampy kind of lakes.
Yeah, it's good that way. And just relax. You know what I like about the long weekends is that your clients don't have an expectation to reach you as much because they're all busy too. So I really felt disconnected.
The thing is that like I find that a lot of people really like live for the long weekends, but me growing up, I was never aware of like, oh, it was kind of just like a happy little surprise. It's not like my family ever like planned anything for long weekends. It was just like, oh, this is nice. So it's like as an adult,
a bonus day.
Yeah. As an adult, now I'm like, oh, sick. Like I can actually try and plan some shit to do, which is really, really nice.
And there's one more long weekend left this summer, and you're going to be spending the Monday with us, correct?
I am.
It's Labor Day.
Remind me the date.
Labor Day. I don't know.
But
September something.
Okay.
It's like
that's fine. If it's a Monday, I can.
It's a Monday for sure.
I'll be able to make it for sure.
Awesome. Hey, so also this long weekend, BVJ wrapped up, and a lot of your friends or our friends in the music industry are all up there. Were you? Not there.
Not there.
You were not there. I was not there either. I've never been to BVJ.
You know, she's a unique one, and she is fun. She's like, it's a lot of fun going to BVJ. I remember my sister saw her first streaker at BVJ. Wow. There's just like a row of food trucks that kind of leads up into like the festival stage area.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there minding our business, probably eating like a corn dog or something. And then an actual corn dog came running by, and we were like, oh, well, there's the first for her for that one.
And what does she think?
She just laughed because she's like, at the time, I mean, she was a lot younger, and she's 7 years younger than me. So she was just like, oh, and like, it's a lot of freewheeling, drinking, stomping in the mud kind of stuff, which is cool.
It's a different, dare to say a different demographic at BVJ than maybe some of the Calgary music festivals.
Like, I think it might be a similar demographic, but just a different attitude going to that.
Like I remember growing up in Olds, right? So this is still an hour to the city.
Yeah.
But that was the big you didn't hear anyone talk about going to Calgary. It was always going to BVJ. That was like small town gathering place.
Yeah, I have a couple stories about BVJ. I
would love to hear one.
Oh gosh. Okay. You know what? I'll lay it on you. This story will probably be told at my wedding if some poor son of a bitch ever decides to marry me. But Tom, my best friend Tom,
I know Tom.
We went to BVJ and we're hanging out and we're backstage with my dear friends, Washboard Union, and we were watching Dallas Smith do his thing. And it was just a great night, and I was having a time. I was on the sauce, and I don't like drink heavily very frequently, but I don't know what had gotten into me that night, but I was on one, and it was I was doing the thing, and it was great. So we were like, oh, okay, we're gonna go get some more drinks. It's fine. And then the guys from Washboard Union were like, oh, we're gonna head back to the hotel. Maybe do you want to just like come with us? I was like, yeah, I'll walk you to the van. Like, we'll say goodbye, like whatever. So I tell Tom, I'll be right back. He's back.
And she never came back.
Pretty much. So then all the guys there, I see them to their van, and like I like to mention that all of this whole situation was completely platonic. So they were like, oh, like just come back with us and we'll all like hang out at the hotel. And I was like, yeah, sweet, perfect. Me thinking that it's 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes away. No. So we get in this van and we're driving to Nisku.
That's not close.
That's not close at all.
No.
Like I want to remember, maybe it was like 45 minutes.
Oh boy.
Maybe, I can't remember. So I'm in the van with them. We're having a great time. We're laughing. And
we're laughing. We're not drinking still. We're just laughing.
We're just laughing, having a great time. I get a phone call from Tom, and he goes, hey, where are you with those drinks? I'm like, okay. So at the time, I didn't know where we were going. Yeah. I was like, I'm in a van with the Washboard Union guys. I'll let you know when I get to a destination.
I'll drop you my pin.
Yeah. But like, so I told him where I was, and he's like, are you kidding me? I have to get you to work tomorrow in Calgary. It's already, what, 1:30 in the morning?
Oh, no.
And so he'd only had maybe 1 or 2 drinks. He drives to the hotel to come get me. And as he's like getting into town, me and the guys think it's a great idea. We're going to go to Denny's, because that's what everybody needs.
Nisku has a Denny's?
No, in Edmonton.
Oh, in Edmonton now. We're getting further away. Yeah. Just keep going. Yeah.
So then eventually around 6 in the morning, Tom rolls up to the Denny's in Edmonton and hauls my ass into the car and drives me back to Calgary, and I made it to work for 10 a.m.
That's impressive. That's a long trip.
And he will never let me live that down. And I still apologize for that moment to this day. Like,
yeah, I think he stuck around though. So
those are the kind of friends that you need to have
right.
with you, because like that was my one BVJ story. But like, I think that BVJ is definitely like on the, dare I say, bit more your rowdy redneck kind of.
I don't think redneck is a derogatory term in their minds.
No,
so I've lean into that term.
I've called myself a redneck.
I have also called myself a redneck
a time or two. But it's like, there's at like raves, you got body paint, but then there's like a different kind of body paint at BVJ.
No, I don't. What is the other kind of body paint?
Well, it's similar. It's just on different types of folks.
Okay.
It's very free on the top half for
at BVJ
women. I've seen it before.
Really?
I've seen it before, but they're covered in paint. It's kind of like you've heard it like Sturgis, right?
No.
Okay, so it's like a
sorry.
It's a music festival, but also like a rally for bikers.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So there's like a bit more I don't know how to put this correctly.
Nudity,
but like
nudity.
But yeah, there's tape, there's paint, there's other things. But like, so a similar but adjacent vibe is at BVJ. And the one thing I don't like about BVJ is that if you don't buy one of the kind of reserved seating tickets near the front,
okay,
you are like what feels like a kilometer away from this stage. And me as a concert snob, I don't like that.
Well, and there's just no way to have good sound quality a kilometer away, even with more Banks speakers. Like it's not the same.
No, and like there, and I will say this because I have like I come from a very privileged perspective because I've been able to be backstage places, side stage places, like, and I know not a lot of people have had those opportunities, but like if I'm gonna pick if I'm gonna pick like a festival to go to, I want to be like the closest that I can to the stage.
That's fair,
right? Like I just want to be close to the action so I can see it, so I can hear it, so I can feel like I'm a part of it. And if I am just an average person attending BVJ, I get frustrated because I'm like, I just want to go up there, but I can't.
That's totally fair. And then once you've been up there, that's what you're kind of accustomed to, which again, you're privileged.
So are you.
It's tough
so
to go back.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Speaking of not privileged, we were given these at a Flames game. This girl was below us, and they were just being girls this whole time, and they were getting the cameras and the jumbotron shots, and they were quite attractive. And every guy was tripping up the stairs on their way by.
Girls being girls.
Girls being girls. They had no interest in the hockey game. But anyways, out comes the Cowboys girls, and they were giving away full music passes. And they were so offended that girl looked right past them and handed them to me. And then she looks at me and she goes, "Are you even a country music fan?" And I was like, "Oh, little girl, just turn around." Yeah, we are. So long story short, we got full weekend access passes, but there's general admission. So my question for you, I've never been to the new location for Country Thunders coming in a week from now, or 2 weekends from now.
Yes.
What do I do? Where do I go? What day do I see?
So I love Country Thunder. I think they've got such a cool setup there. And there was a big debate last year because of the switch in the venue, right? It's at Fort Calgary this year, I believe.
Again. Yep, it is.
Yeah. And before it was at, oh my gosh, it was up
in the Northeast at some park.
Yeah, in a park, which it was really nice because you had this giant hill where people could sit on the hill and like see it. You're pretty like far away from the stage, but if you just want to have like a casual little viewing experience, you can go sit on the hill, and it's grassy and it's beautiful, and it was really nice. But like parking was really shitty.
Okay, that was our complaint, was like we had to walk 5 kilometers from our parking spot.
Yeah, so like they've moved it, but now everybody was complaining last year because there was like, it was mostly because the grass was all like trampled down. So it was kicking up a lot of dust.
Kick the dust up.
Yeah, literally. But like not in the fun party way, like in the I can't breathe kind of way.
Yeah, okay.
And when you have that nice little crust on you because you're sweaty, it's hot, and now you're dusty, and it's like, oh crap.
Well, maybe they can fix that with more grass seed or something.
Maybe. And like the thing is you're never going to make everybody happy at these festivals. But I do feel like with at Country Thunder, you can get a little bit more up close and personal to the stage. They obviously have their kind of barricaded off areas, but like if you really, really want to, you can bring your lawn chair. You can like set up in a good spot. And
do I bring a lawn chair then? Do you recommend that?
If that's the kind of like
I'm not looking to stand the whole time.
You're not a standing kind of person.
Not for like a day.
I'm like a standing and mingling kind of girl.
Okay.
So,
but
good I would pick a spot kind of off to the corner, set up your chair or a blanket or a tarp.
What day is the big day that you want?
Well, for me, it would be the Sunday.
Okay. Now I also love, his name is blanking me right now, but
do you want me to pull up this lineup?
No, he sings. Yes. But he was at the Grey Cup in Calgary. He loves Canada. He is Australian.
I cannot believe you can't remember his name.
Oh, I know his name.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban. I really want to see Keith Urban. Big fan over here.
Big fan.
Oh, what's his face?
What's his face? So I have a soft spot for Keith Urban.
Okay, well, so his Grey Cup to bring back the sports into this. His Grey Cup performance in Calgary was unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. It was NFL quality. It was the sick setup they did. The previous year, Grey Cup Calgary did Blue Rodeo, and they just like pulled out a stage and it was like Blue Rodeo and it was horrible.
Ta-da!
And they're not, I don't hate Blue Rodeo, just no production.
Yeah.
They went all out on Keith Urban.
I know. I remember I was on the plane from Nashville to Calgary right before that Grey Cup performance, and his whole band was on the flight with me.
Was he there?
No.
Oh.
I don't know how he travels or if
he probably has a PJ.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd assume he has a PJ.
I mean, wouldn't that be nice, right? Yeah. But I remember walking up to the guys as they were kind of walking. We were getting off of the plane. I was like, hey, you probably don't remember me because there's a million people who probably say this to you.
But this one time.
But this one time, this thing happened the last time you guys were playing in Calgary. And I just want to say thank you for like being so supportive. And they were like, oh my God, we totally remember that. And I was like, you're lying, but thank you.
Maybe they do, though. I don't think that specific thing, like, okay, I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about this for a brief second?
Absolutely.
Here?
We can dissect it.
I've heard you say in your performances, I'm not just the girl remembered for singing. I actually didn't know that story about you. I've known you for a long time.
Should I briefly tell the story on this podcast?
Yeah, I actually went back and watched it like last week.
Did
YouTube
you?
video on your Facebook. Just because I wanted to see what it was.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I knew it happened. I've been told, but I didn't really know the whole story. And I watched it. It was quite touching. Your whole family was up there, and your dad's filming it, and your sister and your mom's promoting you. And I was like, what a cool experience.
Yeah.
And it wasn't rigged.
Not at all.
How does it even happen? Okay.
It just happened.
We just somehow segue here. So please tell me how it happened.
Okay. So my family and I have been it was our family tradition to go to Keith Urban shows whenever he was in town.
Yeah.
It was one of like the CDs that one of like the 8 CDs my dad had in the truck when we would go on road trips. So
Fair enough.
He was our guy, right? Like Keith Urban was our guy. And we, over the years, we would have like seats in the 200s and then like the lower bowl. And then, okay, we're on the floor now. And then me getting older, I was like, we're not going anywhere except like right up in the front.
I want to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had seen the show multiple times on multiple different tours, and I kind of got the gist of like, okay, so he usually takes like a moment during every show to look out at the crowd. He turns the house lights on and he reads like a couple signs, or he'll like bring like a girl on stage who's like, I ditched work for this concert, and then they'll like call like her boss or whatever. Like they'll do like a funny little thing, and it's programmed into the show. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, I've always wanted to do something, right? And I had this idea because my dad had told me that it was maybe at a Jays game, and this happened maybe a couple days prior, that there was a kid who had a sign that said, we'll trade my dad for a baseball or something, or like whatever. So I was like, okay, like that's a cute idea because it made it onto like the news or whatever. And I was like, okay, we'll trade my sister to sing with Keith Urban. But she had a sign that said like, take me or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like really, really cute.
I'd let Keith Urban take me if he wanted to.
Work. Yes. So he did his little moment where he turned on the house lights. He's like, let me see all those like signs that you have. And I was like right up at the front. Felt bad for the people standing directly behind me because my arms shot up with this giant poster board that we made. And I was like, read it, please. And he did. And he pointed me out, and the rest is history. And I got to sing with him, and it was really, really fun.
And what song did you sing?
It was We Were Us. It was the duet that he does with Miranda Lambert.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that song now, I get the willies.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned at the end of the video that you were local, you're performing, but then you were going to do a Flames game coming up right away. Was that one of your first Flames games then?
It was right as I was starting, which was really cool. So I had literally, it was the Keith Urban concert, and then I had 2 Flames games like back to back. So I was like, I get to sing at the Dome for 3 nights in a row. This is really cool. Like it was amazing.
And the crowd was going nuts for you. Like I said, it was so cute. Your mom's there, your sister's there. Your mom's like promoting. You
I
make
was like,
bad
Mom,
look good.
Shut up.
No, she was killing it. Like
I know
it would have came across wrong if you were like, look at my new signal. But your mom's like, I'll do it.
It was really, really sweet. And like
did you notice that? Did you get an uptick after that night alone from that crowd?
Oh yeah, because
that's cool.
As soon as I like noticed that something was going to happen and he was talking to me, I said to my dad, I was like, record all of this, like do not stop recording.
Well, at one point he's like, Dad, come up here. He's like, oh, wait, you're recording. I'll leave you down there.
Yeah. So, like I posted a video and I posted a selfie, and then everybody found me afterwards through Instagram.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you're that girl. I was like, that's me. Cool. So I think I gained like that night, like 2,000 followers. And I posted it like right away.
The
so
power
everybody
of a
knew.
Sold out dome, eh?
Yeah. And it was really cool. And the story I feel like is just so tired because it happened in 2018. 2017,
but then there was like 2 years of no music, so really it's not that old.
Yeah.
Think about it.
So then but people still come up to me like today and they're like, holy crap, like you're that girl. I remember that. I was there. Like, or I'll be playing a show and then halfway through they'll be like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
So it's this fun little thing that like connects me to whatever, how many 20,000, 19,000 people that were in the building that night, right?
Had you already planned in your head, like, hey, if this sign works, and
yes.
the chances are so slim that sign's going to actually work.
I think I manifested it. So that I think that's why people are like, it looked like it was fake or like it was a setup.
Or like it was like pre-planned, like the flames in the background said, hey, by the way, our anthem singer's sitting here.
Yeah, no, I had literally played out that moment in my head over and over and over and over again. I knew what song I was going to sing. I knew that I just wanted to start singing, like get right into it. And then he would join me and I just pictured it. And then it just happened.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that story.
And he's so sweet. And like some of his band members, even like his newer band members, we like chat sometimes online and they're so supportive and people would be like, oh, did you get a record deal from like that? No, but like
they ask you like that too?
No, like that's not how it works.
I know, right?
Like it was just a really cool moment,
moment
that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. And I don't have any tickets to Country Thunder yet this year. I'm not playing either, but who knows? I think I might try and just use that manifestation power and see what happens.
That's totally fair. And then the other thing is, I bet it does stick in their minds a little bit because think they do it every show. But how often does the person who gets called up actually get up there and kill it?
Well, so here's the thing too. Haley Benedict the year prior got pulled up on stage by Keith Urban,
and that wasn't fixed either.
Nope. She had a sign and she played one of her original songs and it was a big thing. And then literally the year after, I did the exact same thing.
Do you think like maybe he's manifesting it too? Like he just has this better sense of being like, okay, I'm picking this girl or that girl. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty impressive. That can't be just coincidence that he's able to do that.
Me, Haley Benedict, and then I can't remember her last name, but a girl who moved, she's from BC. She's an artist. She moved to Nashville. We had all been plucked out of the crowd by Keith Urban. We all happened to know each other.
And the key is you got to be up front and you got to have a good sign.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Okay, so back to Country Thunder that's coming to Calgary. What day is Keith then?
He's on the Sunday.
He's on
the Sunday.
So Sunday maybe is the day for me to plan just to be there all day Sunday.
Yeah.
And I personally love the new location because it's right next to our house. They're close. We can walk.
Yeah.
Not dealing with parking, but I totally get that you're never going to make everyone happy. And I've also heard complaints from BVJs a lot of outside of Calgary coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, it was easier to get to the Northeast, the middle of nowhere, to go to this concert. It had didn't have to drive through big traffic than it is to come downtown. Yeah. But for those of us who live inner city, that was a pain. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's tricky. There's always such a fine balance and stuff too. And then, I mean, I'm always kind of a stickler for like, what about some more like ladies on the lineup? But
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, didn't even look at that. You can't win them all every time, but Country Thunder, how about some more ladies?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that in like a mean, aggressive way.
In the unlikely situation that someone from Country Thunder programming is listening to this podcast,
who knows?
Here's our suggestion.
Jerry, please. No.
please, Jerry. And I also think going back to Fort Calgary, I would love to see as a city us utilize that space more as a festival grounds.
Yeah.
So take the feedback, plant more grass, make it less dusty. But that's a cool gathering spot that's been used for like decades and decades before Calgary was Calgary. That was a gathering space.
Yeah.
And I think if we could use that for these kind of things more, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. And like the lineup is still really amazing. We've got John Party, Tim McGraw, Keith Urban, obviously, Kip Moore, Carly Pierce, Bailey Zimmerman, and Nate Smith. So all great.
Yeehaw.
I do think that Bailey Zimmerman needs a bit of a haircut, but that's a personal opinion. He's got great tunes, but no, yeah, so much stuff going on in the city. And I think that, you know, before we're getting geared up for hockey season, it's good to squeeze every last like ounce of summer out of Calgary that we can.
Festival season, you know, also just wrapped up was the big drug fest up on Max Bell.
Okay, so I heard that like
Chasing Summer. There we go.
I heard there was a girl on TikTok, which we need to get you on TikTok.
I'm working on it. It's on my to-do list.
It's in the works right now. No, but she was saying how like it was poorly run. And I'd never been to a festival like that ever, but she was saying how like there was just too many people, too little security.
Ooh.
People weren't necessarily like, she said she felt unsafe.
Yeah, that's not good.
Which I don't like. I hadn't heard any other kind of feedback from the festival, but like, I don't know.
Full disclosure, not my people typically speaking.
Not my people either, but like it has a place, and like there are like safe ways to do those types of activities.
Popular.
Yeah.
I got a kick of so I do a lot of work with the Canucks. I was doing a facility walkthrough for an event we got coming up, but it was all closed down for Chasing Summer, so we had to get behind security. The setup was like a week long to make that parking lot into this giant festival grounds. But inside the hockey rink, there was about 70 beds in the hockey rink, and that was all going to be just for drug overdoses. It's like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, like, and
but you don't get that at other festivals.
But you get that at like Shambhala.
Yes.
So like they are prepared for
it's a different kind of partying.
Things like that, which like I think some of that kind of stuff bleeds into Stampede a little bit too, now that we have like Badlands tent.
Yeah.
And like all this shit going on. So
DJ performances and other tents.
Yeah, and like I've never been to a festival or a show like that, so I don't know what the protocol is. At least they had 70 beds set up for those type of things.
May have been less than 70, but it was a lot.
A bunch.
a bunch.
So like they were trying to prepare for it. So but I don't know. I can't necessarily like speak to the actual lived experience of going to Chasing Summer.
I heard it was bumping this year, whatever that means. I just saw that on social.
Whatever the kids say.
Yeah, like just a lot of people. It does make Max Bell, if you're not familiar, is this really cool arena. It's like historic for Calgary, built for the Olympics. But it has the coolest view of downtown.
Yeah.
It's perched up over Deerfoot, the Bow River, and they put the stage so that the backdrop is our beautiful downtown with the lights going at night, and that is pretty cool. But yeah, festival season. I got to take it all in before hockey's back because it's coming.
Summer is literally just coming. Like it's whipping by, and I'm like, okay, that's great.
I've got another Stamps report lined up.
Yeah, because we won. Yes, thank you, Jesus.
Calgary.
Woo!
Get on the ball and let's go marching down the field.
I'm not gonna scrape this time.
Wait.
Fight!
Hey!
Well,
I love it. I love this. It's so cute. It makes me feel like I'm in Disney World or something.
I'm not even gonna start the report to the song. Ye men of Calgary.
Yeehaw!
Okay. Well, Calgary, we were behind you. 19,200 showed up on a Friday before the long weekend. So it's not a great crowd, but it was a lively crowd, and I thought it was good considering it is a long weekend.
Are you playing another song right now? My goodness.
No, that was that sad song I had after for Edmonton.
Oh,
but
okay.
We're not gonna talk about them just yet. Okay, so Calgary got their first win at home.
Thank you,
Third
Jesus.
win of the season. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
And it was not a anticipated win. They're playing the number one team in the East and the league, and the last team to be undefeated. They were 6-0 heading into this game. It was looking like another fold to 10. Calgary's going to have to wait another week to get a home win.
Ugh.
But they pulled it out, and they did it like in a non-traditional way for how they've been playing. It was a very defensive win.
Yeah.
They won 20-7. They recovered a fumble in the end zone off a kick to like really go up by 14, I think, at that point. That was the TSN turning point. What I liked, and just go ahead and just you guys can glaze over as I talk about this if you want.
It's okay. Keep going.
But what I really liked is that Jake Mayer, the game plan for him changed. He was confidently throwing the ball early. As soon as he got that big lead, they said no more throwing. He just handed it off.
Yeah.
We have like 3 or 4 great receivers. They were all getting time. Calgary really just ran the ball and ran the clock down, which doesn't make that exciting of football, but the home crowd did not care. They just wanted to see the lead protected and win. So
of course
they never, hammered it down. They don't think they scored in the second half hardly. It was pretty low key, but they did not let Toronto get anything going. That was huge. So great job to the offensive play call there. I think it's something big they started. They had this like pick 'em thing where all the different analysts from every team pick their winners every game, every week, and not a single one of the 8 picked Calgary to win, rightfully so.
Oh, underdogs
they
again.
Were all
we
wrong.
got them.
I saw the Stamps put out a picture of that today on their social media, saying show them wrong.
Like,
yeah, I think the caption was they wrote us off. We didn't write back. I'm like, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, whoever's doing those socials
I love it.
On it, and I love that.
Big win. Now they can keep it rolling. They've got a tough opponent in BC against the Lions this weekend in Vancouver. BC is doing really good. They're kind of tied in that top spot. We are now 2 points back in a playoff race like Saskatchewan because they hung on to a win this week.
Ooh.
But there's a lot of games coming up, and we have some freebie points against Edmonton in September. So we should be good in the playoff race.
Yeah, you think we could do it?
We're getting there.
Take it all the way home.
I took in my first Red and White Club after party this week.
Yeah, I did see some videos that you posted.
The Frontiers were rocking the house. John Cornish was even out dancing. A lot of fun dancing. Oh,
I love that.
He's a glorified cheerleader now for the organization. He's a hype guy.
Get him some pom poms.
He doesn't need them. He does the yells. And
jazz hands.
I think he's more like the pump up.
The pump up. Okay.
Get louder.
Everybody jump. Woo.
And it was a good. I gotta say, the Red and White Club growing up was a very like a closed door. You had to pay your money to be there. Kind of the old guy
like
club.
Fuddy Duddy, just like you sit there and you smoke a cigar and you have some whiskey.
Yeah, something like that.
Game.
Maybe not smoke a cigar anymore, but like that mentality. And they've so now it's like that pregame, you get a cool meal, but after the game, all fans are welcome. Next time you go, check it out. It's like a cabaret atmosphere. They've rebranded it to Stamps House, which is what they did at all the Grey Cups. That was their house party, they called it. Or
yeah.
So they've done a good job. And music after the game brings the fans together. It was a jubilant atmosphere.
Good. That's amazing. See,
yes.
I see all of the effort that they're really putting into like beef up the fan experience at the Stamps games, which is really, really great. And I felt that the last game that I attended too. So I look forward to more.
And that's another great thing CSEC's doing, right? They do it in the Telus Club for the Flames.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of fans don't go down there after because they just don't know about it or it's kind of out of the way. Mm-hmm. But do check it out if you hear the PA guys or the hosts of the game saying there's an after party at Telus Club. Check it out. It's
because you can just see it though, right? Like it's visually there, and you have a landmark, and it's not hard to get there.
Exactly. But I'd say this is even nicer than Telus Club. The facility of the Stamps House is pretty top notch.
I did see that it was like decorated really nice too.
Yeah, lights fix everything. Red and yellow, it's perfect.
I love that.
In other CFL news, did you see those 4 Elk fans at the last home game wearing paper bags in their heads?
I can't.
So this was at the game against BC, their last home game in which they lost the 21st in a row. Those 4 fans, though, it was immediate. They got kicked out of the stadium for that.
But were they just sitting there minding
their
own business?
They were just sitting there. The stadium didn't like it, or the team didn't like the optics of it, apparently. And so it was against a policy of fan wear or something, and they kicked them out, and they took it out to the media. Which really hasn't reflected great on the Elks because
I feel like that was a bit of a hissy fit.
Yeah, you suck. You're kicking out. You're having attendance problems left, right, and center. No one's wanting to go to your games, and then you're kicking out fans for a peaceful protest. We'll call it.
Well, I mean, I get it. Like
yeah,
that's like if I went to it's like if I walked out onto the ice to sing an anthem in an Oilers jersey. It's like, whoa, what the hell? That would never happen. But it's like, okay, Like,
Yeah,
if you're gonna be there to cheer, be there to cheer. I
would agree with that, except for the bag on the head thing is a old thing in sports that fans have always had the right to do when they feel like their team's underperforming and they're a ticket holder. They put a bag on their head, and I've seen it in Calgary for other fans. I've seen it at the Flames. I've seen it different places. So
I'd love to like look into the deep-rooted history of that.
Yeah, I think it's just as simple as you're embarrassed, so you put a bag over your head because you don't want to know that you're a fan.
I'm like trying to think of like, is there like an offensive
No,
history to it? Like,
there is. I'm unaware
I don't know.
of it.
Like, I'll look into it. I would love to see a little bit more of what's going on.
All I know is they took that to the media, and it didn't, like CTV Edmonton and all those, and it didn't go well because it's like, come on, Elks, you don't deserve much more. But
well, if you're not being like rude and you're sitting there minding your own business,
it wasn't like F the Elks on there. It was just a paper bag with whole eyes cut out. Cute.
Well, I mean, we'll look into it.
They got kicked out.
Sorry that you got kicked out of your losing team's game.
Edmonton went on to lose 27-0 in that game to the BC Lions. The other sports things, if you're just like listening to this podcast for a little break from sports, these are your good little tidbits so you can speak like you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah, so you can be like me. You can be like me and pretend that you know what you're talking about sports.
So we're surging into the championship weekend. Calgary's newest basketball team / only basketball team I know of, the Calgary Surge.
Playing basketball.
That is the song we need for the Surge report. Well, it's already over. They won their game against Edmonton at home on the long weekend. Hell yeah. They're now heading to Vancouver for championship weekend. So they'll play the semifinal, and if they win the final, and it's all in one weekend in Vancouver. So swoosh, they may win the championship and bring the cup or trophy or whatever it is back to Calgary. Won't that be exciting?
The big blue ribbon.
Won't that be jubilant?
You're going to go have a jubilant time at a Surge game.
That's my word of the day, is jubilant.
Jubilations. My goodness.
That's all I got for out of towns or our sports across the city today. I did have this come up. Last podcast, you asked me who I thought the hottest flame was.
Yeah, because we're on fire.
Yeah, and I said I don't know. I wasn't ready to choose one because of Gaudreau.
But you've got one now.
Well,
what you're telling me.
As I was leaving,
I
swear my phone was listening. Like, hey, you want to know who the hottest flame is? I'll show you.
Here it is.
Yeah, Oliver Shillington.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, my Lord.
Chef's kiss.
This defenseman was drafted in 2015 in the second round, in case you're wondering. 6'2", 83 kilograms.
Interesting.
Most of those kilograms are in his ab definition.
Oh, just some raw beef.
Not sure about his face as much. I would just keep him in a bucket hat, to be honest. It's all fine.
I mean, I think he's got a nice jawline.
The photo I sent you, though, was he posted from vacation.
We weren't looking at his face in that. He was having a jubilant time on the beach.
Holy Lord.
With what looks like, those what are they, like honey buns or whatever in a bag where it's like boom, 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 and they're glistening in the bakery, and it just that's what his abs look like. And blessings to you, Oliver.
This beautiful tan.
Thank you for elevating our team's hotness.
Yeah, ladies, men, if you're into that, I don't, no judgment here. Go check out Oliver Shillington, but check out some off-season picks because
you know what, all of the off-season picks.
You're welcome.
For all of our guys it's just they're great. And you know what? We give credit where credit is due here, and we got some good-looking fellas on all of our sports teams. So cheers to you, boys.
Dun, 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 dun. It's also wedding season right now.
Don't freaking remind me. I can't. I have a love-hate relationship with weddings.
I do too. Here's my thing is like, it's when brides make the wedding become their entire personality. I don't understand that. But like, I see it all the time.
Listen, I'm a maid of honor right now for my best friend's wedding.
That's another thing, is maid of honor. I have friends who become maid of honors, and then they talk about the money they're spending to be a maid of honor.
Yeah,
and they're like, my cousin was telling us one. I think she was in 7 weddings in like 2 years, and it was like in different continents. And she had figured out that she had spent like somewhere close to 16-20 grand or something in 2 years on weddings. And as a maid of honor, and everyone wants her, and you're like, okay, but how do you start saying no at a certain point? Because you're like, I'm actually financially tapped out. I can't do it.
Well, and like I think it really just depends on like a bride's expectation or a couple's expectations of what that means to be involved in a wedding. Like for me, it's my best friend's wedding. I'm gonna try to go all out for her and stuff. But like if it's more of a a more distant kind of friend that I'm in a wedding party, it's like, well, I'm not gonna like shell out $2,500 to go to freaking wherever you want to go for your bachelorette or your second bachelorette or your third bachelorette.
Then there's a bridal shower, and then there's a
engagement party.
And
then there's a rehearsal dinner.
You know who doesn't do that? Men.
Well, and
just saying.
I also realize that like there's single people like me. We don't get these big freaking parties to celebrate our milestones. We get birthdays. And like that's fine, but like your friends, they get married and then they have a kid and then you have to buy the kid all the stuff. And then you have to, I'm just like, what about when me as a single person, I don't know, I get a motorcycle and I want to throw a party for that. What about my relationship with my motorcycle, which I want a motorcycle?
I'm hearing you want a motorcycle.
Which is like,
my dad's selling his Harley. Do you want to buy a Harley?
I need to learn how to ride one first. So we're getting there.
That's fire. Okay, if anyone wants to buy a Harley, hook me up or look me up. I've got one for sale.
So wedding season.
So it what was I going to say about this? There was NHL weddings. It's kind of famous this time of year because they're finished their training camps and then they do their weddings now. Because
can you imagine if one of the wives was like, no, I want
really want
an April wedding,
or even like just like let's say December.
It's sorry, sweetie, it's not happening. Like
fair enough. Okay, so a couple of cute things I saw. Did you see any of this on social media?
I haven't seen it yet.
All right. Well, I love watching these weddings, but one was Johnny Gaudreau. I just call him John now. He was
John
Gaudreau was dancing on Brady Tkachuk's shoulders
at
Kevin Hayes' wedding. Very cute. He was just giving it up, and probably now that he plays in Columbus, the only time he'll ever be hoisted on a shoulder now because he ain't winning no cups anytime soon.
And he's a little wee pint-sized boy.
So you put him on the shoulders of Brady now. He's like 6 foot something, and anyways, cute. He was just giving it up. He looked like he was having.
Did he have like some moves? Was there any sort of?
No, he was. You're on his shoulders, so like,
but
what do you do?
There can be like a bit of wiggle, a bit of hip movement.
He was probably wiggling.
Some arms going, some jazz hand. I'm a big fan of jazz hands.
Which means his junk was just going on the back of Tkachuk's neck.
My goodness, I've never been an on the shoulders kind of lady because it's
different for men. I can tell you that much. the way you straddle the neck.
There's more going on there, I guess.
So that's cute. And he was just doing this, waving his arms back and forth and dancing. It's easy to find on social media. Just look that one up. And then the other really cute one that I suggest you take a look at is Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron. We're doing a very choreographed dance. Look like they had practiced a few times, including like, spinning and on each other's knees and stuff.
Hold on, it was their wedding?
No, this was at Charlie McCoy's wedding.
Okay, because I have a bone to pick with people who do choreographed dances like for their own weddings. I feel like it's very 2012, and I'm like,
you mean like a surprise one where like all of a sudden the DJ goes?
I don't want a flash mob. I don't want a flash mob, and I don't want a choreographed first dance. I want to see you sway in the middle of the dance floor and look like you're in love, not counting your steps in your head.
Oh,
that's what I want to see.
Did I ever tell you our first dance?
No. I want to hear about it now.
It was just us dancing in Trolley 5 with like all our friends around, 150. But then it was Mitch Ballot playing with his guitar, following us around, playing "Oh, I Think I'm in Love."
Oh, I love that. I love that. See, like
we did not rehearse our dance at all.
I like weddings where it's just super genuine and like, it's there's no like, it can be a nice fancy wedding, but there's no like extra frills to it. It's just it's focused on like the right things.
Yeah, and I'll admit it is weird and awkward for the couple to just have everyone watch them dance for like 3 minutes. So I get
that's why you pick a short song.
And I totally get why couples do want to be like, okay, we got to break it up by doing something rehearsed. But personally, I'd say don't ruin the moment by having to think about that. Just be with your partner and dance. Because if you're thinking, okay, I don't want to screw this up, I have this routine in place.
Or just like plan one spin. Just one spin or one cute little thing or a dip. Just one thing. I don't need to see your 5, 6, 7, 8 and plie. Like, no.
Yeah. Now, this dance, by the way, was definitely more for entertainment. It was not part of the wedding part. Look that up. They're very cute doing it.
I will.
And it looked like the point of it looked like they had rehearsed a few times, which is cute.
Well, but it's different if you're just cutting it up on the dance floor at somebody else's wedding and you're like, oh, we have this thing that we do.
No, I feel like they knew about it coming because there was no one else on the dance floor. They all moved away in so I'm thinking the DJ said or something like, and now for a special.
Oh, it was in the program.
I think so, because it seemed like everyone made space for them.
Were they in the bridal party?
I don't know. I don't know these details. I just know it's cute, and
well,
I watched it on. That's my wedding season update.
Oh my gosh.
One last hockey thing was that Canada won the Hlinka Gretzky Cup. They're now back-to-back championships.
Ding, 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 ding. Go Canada.
Go Canada.
Go Canada.
Do you know what that is?
What?
The Hlinka Gretzky Cup.
Every episode, there's a moment where I get humbled
I want
about
you to
my
learn
sports
these things.
knowledge.
Actually, I'll be honest. I actually didn't really know what it was. I've heard about it every year, but I looked into it today. It is a U18 invitational tournament in the summer.
Okay.
It's mostly meant for NHL scouts to see the best prospects coming up. And it's actually strangely put on by Hockey Canada, the Czech Hockey Association, and the Slovak Ice Hockey Federation.
Interesting.
So they all put together this tournament. It's some like rep teams, some national teams. Canada won back-to-back. It's held in exotic locations like Slovakia or Red Deer. So there you go. That's the
butt crack of Alberta, Red Deer, where my dad's from. So that's
great.
I've
got family in Red Deer.
I actually like Red Deer. I
like the idea of Red Deer.
Yeah,
but it's got some work.
I just
to
want
do.
some more. I want some more touristy kind of things there. Like give me something. But we got a tournament. There's been tournaments there. There is the CFR there.
CFR moved there. Which very successful there.
Put on a great event.
And actually for junior hockey rinks in terms of like WHL, one of the coolest barns. It's perfectly designed for that level of hockey.
Because so Ron McLean, my dad grew up with Ron McLean in Red Deer, and I think Ron
still
McLean,
waiting for Ron to come in the
Ron,
studio,
please.
by the way. I'm gonna line that one up.
But yeah, I remember like going to Red Deer. They had, I think they either named something after him, something to do with one of the sports complexes.
Red Deer loves Ron McLean.
Oh, who doesn't love Ron McLean? I love Ron McLean. But yeah, it's just they've got some good stuff going on in terms of like sports and stuff. But like, what if we had the world's second biggest indoor water park compared to Edmonton? What if we put it in Red Deer? Because I have a hankering to go on some water slides.
What if we in Calgary got a water park? Because
that's fair.
I would like that.
I mean, we have nice pools and stuff, but
I would like a water park, though.
I think I've just been horned up to go on a water slide though this summer, and I haven't been. So
now there was a joke on April Fools from Canada Olympic Park saying that they were going to turn the ski jumps into water slides.
I remember that.
And I actually think it's a great idea. So I think we should.
That's a liability.
No, but like not literally how they stand today. Just use them as the tower.
Not my mother calling me right now to interrupt our show. My goodness.
Oh my Lord. Does she not know you're recording a podcast at this time? Anyways, I think there's some validity to that comment. We could just do use that tower as the entry point. Anyways.
And somebody goes splat.
And if you ever think that the Sutters are irrelevant in hockey anymore, go to Red Deer because they still are very in that program. That's the Sutters program for sure.
Yeah. I love the Sutters. I will always love the Sutters. So I don't even care. Oh gosh,
Amen.
another week.
Amen,
we did the thing. So I'm excited for next week. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. Maybe we'll have a guest. Not sure.
Yep, it's a possibility.
We will see. But like I said, everybody, I mean, who you are listening or watching or just a passerby here in FlamesNation Citizens territory, show us some love on social media. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Do you have questions? Do you have guests that we should have on the show? Like people we need to know about, things that are happening in the city. We want to talk about it because things get a little zany here, and we will talk about anything.
And we're just ramping up. The hockey season is quickly approaching.
Freaking go!
Got some fun guest announcements coming soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But
love to hear from you.
Here's to another week here in FlamesNation Citizens Land, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.